For the next session, I would like to invite Pak Wilson Choecha, founding partner of East Venture, to present to us our next speaker. We have a very special guest of honor, a keynote speaker that Pak Wilson Choecha, as the founding partner, will present to you. Pak Wilson, the stage is yours.
Pak Budi, welcome to East Venture Summit. I would like to share my perspective of Pak Budi from my personal experience. To me, he is national hero. And he's one of my favorite minister. Why? We have been working with him actually from quite a while back when we first met him about a decade ago. So Pak Budi actually put a very important foundation in Indonesia digital economy. In the past, when you have a marketplace and you want to transact online in Indonesia, you don't have payment gateway. So you have to do bank transfer. And to do bank transfer is very unique because it is very difficult for the e-commerce company to reconcile the transaction. So what happened actually, when you, let's say in Tokopedia, you purchase items in Tokopedia, 10,000 rupiah. They will put 10,001 rupiah, so that Tokopedia at the back end, from their bank account, they find this 10,001 number, reconcile it, approve, then the transaction actually being approved in the platform. So there's a lot of these back and forth things. So we met Pak Budi, and very interestingly, Pak Budi background is a bit irrelevant. He's graduated from ITB as a nuclear engineer, physicist. And then he became the CEO of Bank Mandiri, finance, and now become the health minister. There is no correlation between these three works at all, but he performed so well. So for all the founders, when you give me excuses that you can do, look at Pak Budi. You can become anyone. Your education is not related to what you do. Back to the story. Then we met with Pak Budi. He was the vice president of credit card and consumer credit in Bank Mandiri. Introduced him to William. And Bank Mandiri provide the first payment gateway for Tokopedia. And that's become the foundation of payment gateway in Indonesia e-commerce. That's the first foundation that he put in place. The second one, William and Leon, the two co-founders, have a poor life. Because every weekend, they have to check the bank statement, they have to check the record from the e-commerce and approve it manually. As the transaction scale, William have no weekend. So by solving this problem, Pak Budi solved another problem, William private life. That's why he can be married and have kids right now. Yeah. So these two are the very basic foundation of Indonesian e-commerce. And right now, I would like to welcome Pak Budi on the stage to give the presentation.
Thank you, William. I'm not actually that good. So he just put a very high expectation on myself. But I just would like to share with you, I understand that all of you here is somebody that would like to make a lot of multiples. So as a 30 years bankers, which is now has 18 months as a health minister, I can tell you something. Before you can make multiples, if you invest in an information technology startup, which is basically following the models of the infotech startup in the west coast of United States in California Belt. But I would like to share with you, but you can also make a lot of multiples by investing in biotechnology startup that you lies in the east coast of United States in Boston and Massachusetts Belt. The reason why I'm telling you this is because my son, when he graduated from ITB also like me, he would like to study in US, and he asked the personal recommendation from, who is the founder of Grab, Anthony Tan. And then he got to enter those two positions, and he chose the East Coast. So that's the reason. Let's do not only the West Coast, but follow also the East Coast. And let's do also not only infotech, but also healthcare investment, healthcare startup, because that will guarantee you a very high multiples also that I would like to share with you. So why healthcare is very important? If you can go to the next slide, please. Next slide, yeah. Healthcare is very important. Oh, okay. This is fine. You can go back. You go back and go set. Okay. Healthcare is very important because Indonesian or any nation GDP or size of economy depends on two ministers. The first is education ministers, Pak Nadiem. The second is health ministers, myself. Because Indonesia have 270 million people, and the average GDP per capita is 4,000. So can you imagine if Pak Nadiem increased the productivity of Indonesian people by 1,000 per capita per year, increased to 5,000 per capita, that means 270 billion increase in GDP. It's bigger, I think bigger than the size of GDP of Singapore. And it's 27% increase of Indonesia existing GDP. So the role of Pak Nadiem in bringing Indonesia to the next level of a country is extremely important. And where the Minister of Health role? I share you like this. 13.5% of Indonesians have diabetes. Diabetes is the mother of all diseases. If you got diabetes in the next 5 years, you can either get kidney problem, you do hemodialysis, or you can have stroke, or you can have heart disease. So 13.5% of Indonesian population is around close to 40 million people. It's 50% of it, 20 million become having a kidney problem. They need to go to hemodialysis. You have to go to the hospital 3 times in a week, stay 6 hours in the hospital just, to clean up your blood. Your income per capita of 4,000 will be gone. You multiply by 20 million, you will lose 80 billion US dollar, or 8% of GDP of the Republic of Indonesia. So while Pak Nadiem's job is to increase the productivity, the income, my job is to make sure the income stays, it's not gone. And why it is very important? Because by 2030, the number of Indonesians that have reached the productivity age will be the most. After that, it will be declining. So those 205 million that will be peak in 2030, it depends on Pak Nadiem how much money they earn per person, or depend on me whether they can earn money or not. That will determine the position of Indonesia, whether we stay at number 16 now, or we increase to become 7 or 5. So either we stay at G17 or we can go to G7 or G5. That will be determined by these two ministers. Now, focusing on my topic, the health sector, we have 2 major issues. First one, health sector. The increase of health cost per capita is always bigger than the increase of income per capita. It means that your wife asking you a 10% expenditure increase every year, where the husband earnings is only increased by 5% per year. So it is not sustainable. Either you choose another wife, or you do corruptions and make more income illegally. Yeah. It's happened everywhere in the last 20 years except in India. The second problem that we have, this is a very intransparent industry. The asymmetric informations. This is a typical industry that every startup loves, because your hobby is to disrupt an existing industry which is not transparent and realize value out of it. This is very intransparent. The United States health cost per capita is 10,000. Japan is 4,300. Only 40% of the United States. Now people are asking, why people spend money on health? Oh, because I want to be healthy. Yes, why do you want to be healthy? The most common answer why you want to be healthy is because you want to live longer. You ask Pak Frankie about it. Pak Frankie, you want to be healthy because you want to look young, or you want to be healthy because you want to live longer? He wants to live longer. So if you use the live longer as an outcome and compare, What is the average life of American? 79 years old. What is the average life of Japanese? 84 years old. With 40% of health spending per capita. So then people start asking, why the hell these Americans so stupidly spend their money so much and their life is so short? Is it because they pay their doctors too much? Or the pharmaceuticals company too much? Or the insurance company too much? Or maybe they pay the education or the fund is not performing as well as the East Ventures. So Japan is 84. You know the country that have 79 years old average life is Cuba. And they only spend 1,300 per annum. Why this happen? Because again, first, it is very intransparent industry. If you want, I'm an engineer. If you want to build a house, 1 per square meter of floor, if made by ceramics, I understand exactly the price. If you change that to granite, I understand exactly the price per square meter. You change that to parquet, you understand. But if you talk to doctors, I want to have, a circumcision. You go to one doctor to two doctors, can be 100% price difference. You go to another hospital, 5,000% price difference. It's a very intransparent industry. It's very intransparent industry. And most of the intervention in the United States, it happens on the curative side. Whereas Cuba and Japan is very focused on preventive side. I give you some easy illustration, COVID-19. If your focus is to prevent you to be sick, to keep you healthy, you just buy a mask, vitamin C, vitamin D, running shoes, you run, it's less than $100 per month. You got sick, you go to the hospital, you have to pay remdesivir, antivirus drug, you have to pay minimum 1,000, 2,000 US. You go to ICU, you have to pay Actemra, those expensive, you pay 10,000, 15,000 US. So the way you do the intervention, when you are very focused on the curative side, will be very, very bloody expensive. Unfortunately, doctors is educated more than 10 years to cure sick people. They are not educated to make you healthy, to keep you healthy. Because if you are healthy, there is no job for a doctor. Doctor's job is to cure sick people. And then I said, when I entered the job, 80% of my time, 80% of my budget is to cure sick people. Then I said to my team, let's change the name of the ministry, Ministry of Sickness, rather than Ministry of Health. Because why? We're focusing our energy, time, and money to cure sick people, not to maintain people to be healthy. With the right BMI, like, everybody that's sitting in front of me. Yeah? If you go to the ministry, everybody, they are obese, or they have diabetes, or they have hypertension. Here I can see you are very, very fit. Now those are the two major issues in health sector. So what should I do? The president gave me only 3 tasks. 1 is to do vaccination. Number 2, overcome the pandemic. Number 3, Budi, please do the biggest reform ever in Indonesian healthcare industry. The reason why me? Oh yeah, you have been in the middle of the two biggest global economic meltdown in 1998 and 2008. It started with the banking sector, and you are in the middle of it. So you know exactly what the policy response are right, what policy response are wrong. So now, this economic meltdown started in health sector. You just repeat what you learned during your past 2 experiences. And then Indonesia is usually very good in doing reform. In 1998, it is one of the biggest crises in Indonesia, but the biggest banking reform happened there. The biggest and most successful political, social reform also happened there. So just do it. So I'm just doing it. Now, talking about reform, let me do it. There are 6 reforms that I would like to do. My heart is in the primary healthcare, to make people healthy, to educate you to always practice a healthy behavior. I hate number 2, but number 2 is still needed. About the network of hospitals to cure sick people. Number 3 is reform in the healthcare system resiliency.
So if another pandemic happen like this, we are prepared. Number 4 is healthcare financing. Number 5 is human resources. We lack of doctors. And number 6, related to you. This is the topic that I would like to discuss. We will do major reform in healthcare technology, split into two, healthcare infotech and healthcare biotech. Okay. Because my time is limited, I move forward. Okay. Doesn't move. Can you go to next slide? Tidak bekerja. Can you move to next slide, please? Okay. Back. Okay. So our objective is to digitize. In the information technology, healthcare infotech reform, we would like to digitize everything about your health during your life. When you are babies until you are old person. We would like to digitize everything. And we have put the framework and launched this in late 2021. The digital health transformation strategy can be downloaded, so you can take a look at it and you can understand the opportunities. Yeah? But what I can share with you is this. We will do 3 things. The first one, we will consolidate, we will digitalize, and we'll centralize the healthcare data of 270 million Indonesians. That is the first thing that we will do. The second thing that we will do, we will establish a platform, free platform for everyone, so everybody can access those data in a controlled and regulated manner. Platform is like iOS. We will put one messaging systems, rudimentary, but people can build WhatsApp on it, Signal on it, Line on it, WeChat, everything on iOS. Our job is to develop the platform, open this platform for free for any inventors, to sitting to this platform, utilize and monetize if you want to, as long it give a better health for my people. And number 3, we will create a sandbox regulations to make sure that invention in healthcare can flourish. Invention in healthcare using technology will flourish. I give you some example. This is on the data side. As the gift of the Indonesian anniversary next month, we will launch this. There is a standard health data format that encompasses all hospitals, almost 3,000, all clinics and primary care services, 20,000, or labs and pharmacies. You have to follow these rules. This is the standard data format. This is the standard dictionary. Dictionary for diseases, dictionary for drugs, dictionary for healthcare services will be standardized. So it will be interchangeable. And it will be kept by the government. All the healthcare facility will be given 1.5 years to comply. 1.5 years to comply. When it happens, so if you go to any lab every 3 months, you go to a different hospital every 1 year to do checkup, you buy a medicine in the pharmaceutical company store that's close to you, then it will be consolidated and become yours data. And you can pass it to any doctors. They can see it with you. You can link that with your Apple Health or something health systems. So you understand what is really your conditions. Automatically, every time you go to every healthcare facilities. Yeah? This, on the application, on the platform, this is, there are several programs, but that will be the biggest program on data, health data. Now health platform. We have several programs, but the biggest will be this. We will transform Peduli Lindungi, which is downloaded 95 million times, and every day 8 million access. This is one of the biggest healthcare application, free, provided by Indonesian government in the world. It will become a citizen health app. So next time you go to Prodia, because that is mandatory, the Prodia data is here, then you'll see it. Oh, my cholesterol is slightly high, but triglyceride is okay, the rest is okay, it will be here. You go to hospital for a checkup, even your echo data will be here, your CT scan data will be here, your MRI data will be here. So this one become your apps. If your son got vaccinated, you know that he will be got vaccinated and certificate will be kept. Not like my son, when he want to go to Harvard, and Harvard asks for a vaccine certificate, I have to look for an old document 25 years ago, what the hell is his certificate of vaccinations? Now it will be digitalized. It will be digitalized. And this is again one of the program examples on the ecosystem of healthcare. We will do it on routine basis. We will do competitions for healthcare startup. We will invite Wilson Chuata and a team to support my ecosystem on financing. I will establish a sandbox regulation so you can play around as long as you are in the sandbox. So many things we will run as a program in healthcare to make sure that invention, technology will be here. And these are the examples you know better than I do. And these are examples, so maybe some of you invested in them too. And you know that Indonesian telemedicine got a lot of boost because I opened 17 Indonesian telemedicine to support us. Okay, you know that better than me. The second reform on technology is healthcare technology. And I need to, as a physicist, I'm proud to be a physicist. And it's not early, it's in mid-19th centuries, in 1800, there is a scientist in UK, James Dalton, worked with Niels Bohr and Ernest Rutherford. They have a major scientific invention to find the smallest component of things called an atom. So atom was invented in mid-19th century. The scientific invention lead to industrial revolutions because major industry or major technology like laser technology, transistors technology, space stations, nuclear energy, nuclear bomb happens because of this invention. And it is changing drastically the way humans live. Now in the mid-90s, there's another invention by an AT&T engineer called Claude Shannon. Again, she found the smallest component, not of a thing, but the smallest component of information called binary digits, or bits. The scientific invention lead to a major industrial revolutions. The establishment of microprocessor, the establishments of computers, hardware, software, Lotus 123, Apples, Google, Facebook, Internet, and now you are making money out of it. And again, it changed the life of us forever. Now I just would like to let you know. In 1960, 1970s, I need to check the name, there are 4 persons. I think the name is Wilkins, Wilson, Craig, Watson, Craig, and Rosalind Franklin. Those 4 persons, again, did a scientific invention on the smallest things of living things called DNA. This is already beginning to shape up the new industry. One of the ones that you know exactly is the mRNA technology. So you can build vaccine in 22 months instead of 7 years. It leads to technology called monoclonal antibodies that cure cancer. It leads into technologies of gene therapy, genome sequencing, precision medicine, CRISPR, that will change human life forever in the future. So history repeats itself. History repeats itself. And we are now in the middle of it. The reason why, because before, human genome has 3 billion base pairs. Compared to, I learned this from COVID. Because COVID, I understand what's the difference between alpha, beta, omicron, delta, whatever it is. Or I understand the type of virus is different. They mutate. When they mutate, the position in the DNA. So in virus, they only have 30,000 base pairs, this gene. Bacteria have 4.4 million. Human beings have 3 billion pairs. So the cost to genome sequence one pair is $1 when it began. So 3 billion US for one human. Now it went down to 250. I just signed a contract for 230 US dollar. So the cost to do whole human genome became very, very cheap. Yeah? So you as a startup investor, you should understand where it leads. And what is actually genome sequence related with health? Because you can develop a very personalized and precise medicine. Before medicine is, or you have is always on the average basis. You never work on individual basis. With this, you really understand which part of your gene that is not working and treat that particular gene well. With this technology, it will become very precise and very personalized. I give examples. Cancer. If you could do chemotherapy in your body, these chemicals will hit everything, not only the cancerous cell. If you do radiotherapy, the same thing happens. But if you do immunotherapy, which is specific to the gene that causes a specific cancer, that will really change the way diagnostic, therapeutics, and the role of doctors in the future. That will change the health industry in the future. And the future is near. Because technology now become very, very cheap. It is the time to disrupt. And I open myself for you to disrupt me. Because I understand you can find a lot of money by disrupting an industry. These are the genes. The famous Angelina Jolie went to Mayo Clinic, identified the BRCA1 or BRCA2 she has, and then the Mayo Clinic gave Angelina Jolie two options. You want to keep it or you want to take it now? And she did take it now. Because she understands, if the mutation happens, it's just a matter of time, you will get hit by cancer. It will be precise and very personalized. Or that is a very, bad example. I'll give you another good example. I have a friend called Pandu. I want to be healthy, I want to be healthy, Pandu. I can tell Pandu, why don't you go to Sangla Hospital. I just put Illumina genome sequence machines, and there are 6 genes actually that has been researched that will determine whether you are obese or not. 6 genes. And this 6 genes, you have the code. The amino acid, they call it. This is the bad one, this is the good one, this is you. So if you want to improve, now the technology is, you have to stop eating. But now maybe in the near future, there is a startup invested by East Venture that, I can do gene editing. Pandu, I can cut your gene that contribute to obesity and change it to the Miss World gene that, very, very slim and tall. And suddenly, in the next East Venture annual general shareholder meeting, we see a different Pandu. And people said, I will not invest in Pandu anymore. Why? Because he is not so as fun as before. He's not a baby or a cute baby anymore. It's just not. Anyway, it's not only obesity, but also wrinkles. But Triawan Munah want to stay young because Triawan Munah has a lot of friends that adore him. You can also do something to make him young. So what we do, as the gift to Indonesia anniversary, we will launch this initiative, Genome Sequence Initiative. Before we only have 12 Illumina machines in the country. Now, because the way I'm a private sector, we are asking Ibu Sri Mulyani, I got 25 machines already coming. on top of the 12, and then send it over to across Indonesia. Two in Sumatra, two in Kalimantan, two in Sulawesi, two in Maluku, Papua, Nusa Tenggara. So all of Indonesia is covered. I put it in the university. So they have these genome sequencing machines. And because it's difficult to operate, I will put it in the university for them to do research. Yeah. What the research for is at the bottom. So I've established 6 centers. Rumah Sakit Darmais is the center for cancer disease. Cipto Mangunkusumo, metabolic disease like diabetes. Sulianto Saroso, Center of Disease for Infectious Disease, tuberculosis. Rare disease in Sarjito, Jogja, stroke, neuro and brain in Rumah Sakit Pon, and beauty and wellness in Sangla. Beauty and wellness in Sangla. So this center will do genome research for precision medicine because we have the samples. Indonesia have many, many people. I understand. The CEO of Illumina is not a medical doctor. He is not a biologist. He is an information engineer. The reason why the shareholder understand where the value is. The value is on this data. So before, when you get rich in 1700, if you have a lot of land, you make a lot of money because you have the number of customers. And Indonesia sometimes is so stupid, they don't understand they have the 270 million customers, so let another country take advantage of it. Here I can tell you, Indonesia is the most diverse in terms of biodiversity in genomic variety. How do I know that? Because of snake bites. Indonesian death about snake bites is one of the highest in the world. So I'm asking what of the doctor, why? Because we have 300 type of snakes. Poisonous snake. Australia is only 100, Asia is 150. How come? Oh, Budi, you forgot your high school learning. Huh? Why? You have a Wallace line and Weber line. To the west of Wallace line is Asian races, Asian animals, Asian plant. To the east of the Weber line is Australian species, Australian races, Australian animals. And we have something in the middle between Nusa Tenggara and Sulawesi, the Anoa, the Komodo. So that's a mix. So that's why we have so many poisonous snakes. That's why we are very rich in biodiversity and genomic variety. And that is something that you can monetize. And don't be stupid this time, monetize it here. So if there is a company called, hey, let's do genome sequence and send it to Thailand, I'm scratching my head. Or next time you will not be able to do it because I will lock the regulation. You can only do it here. Oh, I understand how to make money also. Eh? I understand how to make you make money. Yeah, and I understand how to make you make money because the information is here. There's some examples that these are some of the names here. You are invested also, and we help them also to accelerate the programs. We will create a regulatory sandbox. I think I have to end this, but I just want to let you know is like this. Oh, here. Why I'm here in front of East Venture? Because I'm amazed. Everybody asking me, Budi, you're so successful as a Minister of Health. What did you do? To be honest, why I'm so successful? Because I did very, very small things. I'm doing almost nothing. Everybody else is doing my job. How can you do it? Yes, because I'm a banker, so I know everyone. Second, I don't know, so everybody pity me. When I talk, I don't have money, I don't understand how to do it, so everybody is helping me. And because they remember, oh, when this guy give money to me, helping me, he never asked me for anything back. So then this is the time for us to give him back. So I have a lot of friends that do the job for me, to be honest. So including this oxygen. When the oxygen hit, I'm very confused because to move the bureaucracy is ridiculously difficult. So I met with my friends, Roderick, Ari, and Wilson, and said, can I help you? Yes, I need oxygen concentrator. Or we will buy for you. Oh, do you need money? No, I don't need money. I need oxygen concentrators. We will buy for you and send it to you. I do have problem if I have to distribute the oxygen concentrators. Can you send it directly? Or we have another startup that can do logistics, so send it to you. So actually, Wilson and the team raised the fund, procure the oxygen concentrator, distribute the oxygen concentrator for me. Yeah. So,
I think the credit shouldn't be for East Ventures, but the credit is for the ecosystem that has been helping day and night.
Yes, you are right. You are right. So I'm successful because I'm doing. The less I'm doing things, the more successful I am. The principle when I came to the ministry, this is something that we cannot do alone. We have to do this together. This is something that we cannot do exclusively, that we need to do it inclusively. And it's something that we cannot approach as a program, but need to approach as a movement, where everybody feels that they can do. So now, my last chart to all of you. My last chart to all of you. The future of multiples are here. Yeah. And the difference between the Stanford and the Harvard, oh, no, I'm just joking, The difference between the infotech startup and health startup is like, let me remind you about the books of Jim Collins, I think in the early 2000s calls Good to Great. If you invest in normal company startup, definitely you are making money. But if you invest in health technology startup, you are not only making money, you are saving life. And also you are giving tribute to humanity. So I'm waiting for all of you. Thank you.
Pak Menteri, if you be so kind to stay on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up one more time for our keynote speaker, Mr. Budi Sadikin, Health Minister of Indonesia. Pak Menteri, thank you so much for your illustrative and informative presentation on the landscape of digital healthcare industry in Indonesia. It is indeed very eye-opening, but we would love the chance to delve even deeper for these interesting topics you brought out in your presentation. Therefore, we'd like to invite Bapak David Audy, operating partner of East Ventures, to please join us on stage and moderate a Q&A session. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bapak David Audy, joining Mr. Budi Sadikin, Health Minister of Indonesia, keynote speaker at East Venture Summit 2022.
Pak Budi, thank you for attending East Venture Summit today, and big thanks and appreciation for being our keynote speaker. So, Indonesia is one of the countries globally that have shown extraordinary ability to tackle and manage pandemic challenges. As the fourth largest nation with 270 million population, with what you have achieved, Pak, as Ministers of Health, has been praised in excellence. So actually I've prepared some questions, Pak, but your presentation have covered it all. So while you were presenting there, I was thinking of a new set of questions that I can ask you today. So here they are. Let's talk about Indonesia health service reform. Yeah. I understand that one of the challenges to this reform is the dependency on imports of key medical drug ingredients and also technology. As we know that 4 out of 10 molecular ingredients that has been used for consumer drugs are only 4 are produced locally. And we are also dependent on imported medical equipment and technology. For example, the MRI machines and the technology that needed for the BGS, tadi Pak, biogenetic sequencing, very good name, that you have just presented. So my question is that how can Indonesia further reduce dependency on imports for key medical drug ingredients and technologies used to manufacture critical medical equipment? And then also, please also discuss the plan, Pak, if there is any, to accommodate Indonesian medical professional that is educated overseas, and how to incentivize them to return home to work and strengthen our local healthcare ecosystem by, for example, like being a doctor here. And would Indonesia also ever consider opening ourselves to non-Indonesian foreign medical doctors to practice in Indonesia? Thank you, Pak Budi.
So first about the medicine. The cheapest medicine is made in India. For whatever reason, I don't understand. The ecosystem is already established there for years. And then I realized, if we don't import, the price will be high. So then, as a businessman, I met with my health minister in India, and I said to them, can I have a video conference with all of your CEO? Dr. Reddy, India Serum Institute, and then when there is a meeting in Davos, I gather them all. So I talk to them, hey, you know the GDP per capita, or health cost Indonesia, per capita is 112 US dollar per year. So they're all businessmen, right? And Malaysia, 432. So if Indonesia in the next 5 years, because our population are aging, like me are aging, Pa Triawan Munaf are aging, although always look young, Pa Frankie are aging, we will spend more money, right? If in the next 5 years, our health cost spending per capita increase to Malaysia from 112 to 432, 300 US dollar increase, multiplied by 270 million people. You understand the volume? 81 billion US dollar. If it increased to Singapore level in the next 10 years, 1,760. From 112, 1,600, multiply by 270 million, it will be 432 billion US dollar, 43% of Indonesian GDP. So, up to you. You want to seize the opportunity, invest on EV ecosystem, which is only adding 25 billion in the next 15 years? Like somebody told me, oh, do you want to invest in this? 81 billion opportunity upside. Up to you. And they said, can I open a factory here? That is what I want. You can even 100% or better, 80-20, give some Indonesian knowledge. So now 2 Indian companies are open the manufacturing capabilities. So for me, the important is they build the manufacturing in Indonesia. So if shit happens, I don't have to import. So that is important. You can do whatever you do, the structure, whatever it is, you partner with Triawan Muna, you partner with Roderick or Trana, I don't bloody care. As long as you make the factory in Indonesia. That is question number 1. And it's already started. I did the same with the Korean. The Korean is still believe that EV is so sexy. EV is only 25 billion. Ask some people that you understand. But I'm also supportive of EV, but I think healthcare is much more interesting than EV. The second thing, about doctors. This is aku bilangnya rezeki anak soleh. This is God gave me something. Because I just realized that WHO standard, you need 1 doctor for every 1,000 populations. So our population 270 million, you need 270,000 doctors. How many doctors we have? I asked the doctor association, they gave me one number, 100 something. I asked collegium, they asked me a different number. I asked my team, give me a different number. I asked the regional government that actually issued the license, have a different number. This is like lawyers. You ask 5%, you get 10 different answers. So then I'm scratching my head. So which one is actually the right numbers? So if I put the average number of doctors in Indonesia is only 120,000. So we lack of 150,000 to reach 270. Our capacity to produce doctors every year out of 93 faculty, medicine faculty, is only 12,000. So it needs 15 years to catch up. I look backward 5 years ago, the same. 10 years ago, the same. And I'm asking, what have you done in the last 30 years to increase the production of the doctors? Then I realized that actually in Indonesia, the smartest high school graduate become doctors. If you are not accepted, you become engineers like me. If you are not accepted in ITB, you work with Faculty of Economics, University of Indonesia. So that is the rank actually. So the smartest Indonesian people goes to the doctor and they understand money better than bankers. The supply and demand theory. So if the supply is less than demand, then price increase. So that's why it is very, very difficult. Fortunately, I don't have that background, so I will open it now. I will open more faculty. I will open more specialist education. You will be very, very amazed that even in Erlangga or Jogja, FK UGM, they don't have complete specialist doctor because it is not allowed by their competitors in another faculty of medicine. It's amazing, amazing network of intricate, situations. But about foreigners, I just issue a regulations that specialists, they can come and have 1 year adaptations, paid by the government to work, and then after 2 years, they can get the full license the same as others. Now we are opening it up already. Now people are start coming in. Now after the specialists, I will do the same thing for the generalists. Yeah. So hopefully it's already started. It's already started. So if you have any specialist family, they already can apply and come. The second thing that I will change the regulation. Hopefully again I can issue this as a gift of Indonesian anniversary. I will allow a foreign doctor to come, but only as an investment opportunity package. So if Pak Arif, because he is very, very rich, because of the coal price increase so much, and also CPO price increase so much, in Kalimantan would like to make 4 big hospitals in Kalimantan, working with the Dutch, working with the Germans, working with the Americans. As long as he invests in one entity in building hospitals, he can bring foreign doctors work in that hospital. That will increase the capacity, the competitiveness, but also will not be too sensitive because they will not, go to Jakarta to open a practice. They will only open a practice in the hospital that the investment is being made. Hopefully those two answer your question.
Amazing, Pak Budi. Give round of applause. Now, this is my last question before I open to the floor, Pak Budi. As this event are attended by mostly investment professional and investors, Pak, and as I understand that you, as a senior banker, have led Bank Mandiri, Indonesia #1 bank in terms of asset, which make you both a seasoned expert in health sector and also in investment sector, Pak. So I would like to ask you, what do you think are the best area for investment in the healthcare sector going forward in Indonesia, Pak? Thank you.
The best area. The best IRR or
The best, yeah, it can be IR or whatever, but like the best area to invest in the healthcare sector in Indonesia.
Okay. Actually, I'm very willing to answer it, but during after I arrived and I'm walking here, Wilson said, "Budi, how old is you? How old are you?" I'm not as old as Frankie, but it's about the same. And do you have ambition to continue as health minister? Are you kidding me? Become a minister is only once in a lifetime of a job. Yeah? Because after that you got sick and tired to become minister. And the income of the CEO of Mandiri is like this, the income as minister is like this. So unless you are having enough saving, I pity my colleague that choose to become a minister just to get a special treatment, but actually nothing inside the pocket. But I'm fortunate enough, I've been in Mandiri for 10 years, so I have enough saving. But of course, I would like to continue with my life, normal life, sitting here, not, having fun with all my younger friends. And I said, and Wilson asked me, what do you think about, together we establish a health fund, would that be interesting? Oh, that would be very interesting.
Health fund, Pak.
Because Wilson is very proud. Pak Budi, we just raised 500 million fund and total fund size is 1 point whatever billion. I said to Wilson, quietly, I just closed the financial intermediary fund 1.4 billion in the last 3 months. Because there is a pandemic fund, the G20 initiative last presidency in Italy, but they cannot push it through because China say no. So then the health minister of Italy come to see me and said, Budi, I need to pass this to you because I think this is a great Italian presidency ideas. To have prepared a the health fund is like this. Yeah? I'm a finance person. In every crisis, you know what happened? if every country in every corner of the world have crisis, in less than 2 weeks, there is an institution called IMF can jump into the country and lend billions of US dollars. We don't have it in health, global health system. In a global health finance system, we have that mechanism. We have the backup mechanism, emergency backup mechanism. Any country have an economic problem in terms of weeks, IMF can jump in, boom, 5 billion US, 4 billion US, and to save the economy of the country. In health, global health, we don't have it. So I said, as an ex-finance, we have to have it. And the Italian presidency started it, they cannot close this because China say no. So my job with Ibu Sri Mulyani is lobby China, and of course I know I'm a practitioner. I learned a lot from my senior like Pak Frankie. You know the Indonesian conglomerate, they are stupid. If a Chinese conglomerate, they come to Indonesia, they know that there is one Chinese conglomerate that have a very good relationship. If somebody else want to come, they will follow this guy, using this guy to enter Indonesian market. Indonesian conglomerate is strange. They want to go to China. I know Pak Frankie is very good in China. They want to open their own channel, which is very difficult. Why don't you go through Pak Frankie? That will be easier, right? To enter the Chinese government. So that's why I follow that logic. I follow the highest government officials that has the closest relationship to China, and you know who is who, right? Who is that person? So I follow him, and then finally I get the Chinese not to say no. So my achievement is not say yes, the Chinese not to say no. So the fund was approved on March. We worked with World Bank and also WHO to bring it to the World Bank board on June and get it approved. And you know, Indonesia is chipping in 50 million US, one of the biggest in Indonesian history, and then now it's collected 1.4 billion. So every institution coming in, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundations, what is this? Rockefeller Foundation. I'm waiting for Temasek to coming in. I know some Temasek people are here. Temasek Trust is here. So maybe you can also, Abu Dhabi or Brunei, maybe you want to invest also. It will be wonderful. It will be wonderful. So, but what I would like to say is, first I would like to evade your questions. I want to keep it by myself. No, just kidding. No, just kidding. But what I'd like to say with you, everything related with high debt is something that people will look after crazily. So in Indonesia, number one, cost of soul and cost of money. Yeah? Cost of soul, cost of money is consistent. Heart attack, heart disease. Number two is stroke. Number three is cancer, and cancer is going up very, very quickly. I believe they can take over heart disease and stroke easily, and then kidney problems. So if you have cure, therapeutics, or diagnostic related with this four, then that is the biggest opportunity for you to invest. Why? People will crazily looking for that one. The government will crazily buying the cure and buying the diagnostic. It's not only therapeutics. Diagnostic is very important also. You know, like rapid tests, before you have to do PCR test to do COVID. Right? Can you imagine you have to do lab in 17,000 islands? Crazy, right? That's why some smart people invented, hey, diagnostic shouldn't only be done in the lab. You can do it in a mobile basis using the rapid test. Before, rapid test is only for pregnancy. Now rapid test can do for pregnancy, tuberculosis, or whatever it is. Dengue, HIV, malaria, you can do rapid test. So it's like a mobile small labs. For country like China, India, Indonesia, this is a huge opportunity. It is also something that you should consider to invest. Because the requirement is hundreds of millions every year, guaranteed. If you can monitor diabetes, whatever it is, it's biotechnology. You can use biotechnology to do it. Okay, stop here.
Very insightful answers, Pak Budi. But tadi Pak Budi also said that the best way to play this health tech investment is to invest in a health fund. So that is a fund of fun. Please remember that our LP is better to invest through East Ventures, and then we do the investment for you. A very insightful discussion today. Again, big thanks and appreciation for attending East Venture Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, May I have your final round of applause for Pak Budi Gunadi Sadikin, Indonesia Minister of Health. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak David, for moderating the session, and thank you, Pak Budi, for being so generous with your time. We now like to give you a token of appreciation. We invite Pak Wilson Choacha, founding partner of Eastern Ventures, to please come up to the stage and present Pak Budi Sadikin, our keynote speaker, Health Minister of Indonesia, with the token of appreciation. First, Pak Wilson will present the minister with a plaque. Okay, and then we have this unique and personalized token of appreciation done by local artists, a live caricature. Okay, and then we're going to do another photo op with both tokens. Pak Wilson, Pak Budi, if you may, we have to get both tokens on the picture, on the frame. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Pak Budi Sadikin, Health Minister of the Republic of Indonesia, with Pak Wilson Choacha, founding partner of East Venture, right here at the East Venture Summit 2022. Pak Budi, once again, thank you so much for being so generous with your time. Thank you for sharing with us your expertise, your opinions, your insights. We truly appreciate you being here.